Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am going to wait a few minutes to see who's going to jump on the live. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It's early. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. So this live is going to be about paying off debt. Okay, we have to pay off our debt, y'all. So I'm gonna talk about some strategies and paying off debt, and talk about what I did to pay off my debt and that I'm doing again now because I still have to pay off debt. Good morning, good morning. So we're gonna be talking about paying off debt because we gotta pay off some debt, y'all. I'm gonna be talking about a couple strategies that will really help pay off debt fast. So I'm just gonna wait a few minutes for people to come into the room. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This live will be about paying off some debt. So I'm talking about some strategies to do that. Make sure that you like the live. Make sure that you heart it. So we can share this information with other moms. So this is going to be like a Budget with Faith Saturdays. I am Janine. I am your budget coach. I am your single mom of three. I'm your go-to girlfriend for managing money with faith and intention. And on my channel and on my page, I really talk about getting out of debt, paying off, getting out of debt, saving money, using cash, envelopes, and doing all, getting our personal finances together with God in the center. So if that is something that you're into, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. I'm Gracefully Simplified on all platforms. So if you are new to my live, so we're talking about debt today, and I'm just going to give you a couple strategies to pay off some debt. So if you just joined the live, put in where you're from. If you're watching on the replay, put replay in the comments so I know that you watched it. So we are going to be talking about debt. Debt is heavy, y'all. Like, debt is heavy. There are millions and millions of people there are millions and millions of people that are in debt. So we got to get this debt together. I don't know about y'all. Good morning, girlfriend. Good morning, girlfriend. Girlfriend, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on my live. My girlfriend just came on my live. I appreciate all the support from my family, from my friends, from people that personally know me or people that are just trying to get to know me. I appreciate you. Make sure you heart the live. Make sure you share. So I was just talking about how debt is heavy. We're just going to talk about debt this morning. And so put in the chat where you're from, like where you're listening from, so I can know. And let's see. Yeah, so let me see who's watching. Okay. Hey, thank you for joining the live. I'm still new to this. I'm still nervous, but we're gonna get through it, definitely, for sure. Make sure you heart the live, make sure you share. So one of the things that I wanted to really start off and talk about is paying off debt. And I wanted to read this scripture verse that says Proverbs 22:7, the rich rules over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender. Debt is heavy. It steals our peace, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but do you ever be looking at how much you paying like minimum payments of debt, and you ever think to yourself like what you could do with that money? Like, I don't know about you. Put in the chat if you ever look at, let's say that you're paying your minimum payments for all of your debt is $500. I'll be like, listen, that $500, you know what I could do with that? So that kind of gives me the momentum and it gives me the push to be like, I need to be paying off this debt faster, because all this money, absolutely, all this money that I'm paying to these credit cards, I could be spending on myself. I could be building an emergency fund. You could be investing that money. So we got to pay this debt off, y'all. We got to pay it off. And I hate to sit up there and send these minimum payments to these credit cards. I really hate it. I'm getting my nails done, so I'm here now. Okay. All right, got it. So yeah, like I'd be frustrated, y'all. I don't know about you people watching on a replay. If you be frustrated about giving those minimum payments to those credit card companies, my student loans, I also wanted to say, people that have student loans, make sure you call your student loans, because I just called my student loans, and a lot of the student loans, the interest just started in August. So make sure y'all call in, because the amounts are about to go up. I don't know how long they were on a pause, but I know that when I called them, they said as of August 1st, the interest rate on your student loans are starting to accrue again. So I think some people just, I know some people be paying off debt for years, y'all, and I don't want to be that person. I really don't. So make sure you heart the live, make sure you like the live, make sure you share it. Okay. So one of the things, again, that I'm talking about is debt. People that just came into the live, we're talking about payoff strategies and how to pay off our debt fast. So there are two powerful methods that most people know of, and it's the debt snowball method and it's the avalanche method, and I'm gonna break down each one. So the snowball method, in reference to paying off debt, is listing your debt from smallest to largest, and it does not include the interest rate. So with the snowball, we don't care about the interest rate. I'll give you some examples. If you have a credit card that's $500 and the interest rate is 20%, if you have another credit card that's $2,000 and the interest rate is 14%, and so on and so forth, what you're going to do is you're going to write down each and every one of your debts, but the smallest amount and not based on the interest rate. So I personally have paid off like $40,000 in debt before I bought my second house. I had to pay off some debt. I had to get my credit together. I had paid off my truck. I also paid off, whoever live in Philly, listen, the parking tickets, I had to give $4,000 to parking tickets. Okay. I did not want to give them that money. Whoever live in Philly, you know how these parking tickets, those red light cameras, yeah. Parking authority was not going to get my money no more. So I had to pay off like $4,000 of parking tickets. I had to pay off some credit cards. So I paid a total of like $40,000 in debt before I bought my second house. Okay. And unfortunately, I got to pay off more debt now. Okay. I got to pay off more. So listen, it is what it is, but I definitely like the snowball method personally, because the snowball method is going to give you some quick wins. It's just going to allow you to keep the momentum, because if you have a large amount of debt to pay off, which I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I do. I have student loans, and if you have a large amount of debt to pay off, the snowball method is really a good one to do. So I also wanted to mention that in my Stand store, in the link in my bio, make sure you heart the live, make sure you share it. And the link in my bio on YouTube and also on TikTok, I have a debt tracker and I have a snowball tracker. It's free. All you got to do is put your email in there. So that's one of the ways. That's actually what I use to list all my debt, so I know which one that I'm paying next. So the second method is the avalanche method, and that's when you attack the debt from the highest interest rate first. I personally don't like this method, but if you are a math person and a numbers person, and you realize that over time you're going to be paying more money to on interest, and the avalanche method may be better. But let's just say, y'all, that you have a credit card that's $500, and it has a 20% interest rate, and then you got a card that's $5,000 and the interest rate is 26%. If you just starting to pay off debt, having to pay off $5,000 first may take some time, and you may kind of like lose your momentum at first. But if you paid the credit card off that was 500, you may feel like, okay, well, you know what? I can do this. I can do this debt thing, especially if you have a lot of debt to pay off, which most Americans have over $10,000 worth of debt to pay off. So we in it for the long run. Okay, so but if you are a math person and you realize that you do the math and you say that, no, I'm going to be paying too much interest to these credit cards or too much interest to the loans, then I want to start off with the avalanche method. Then the avalanche method is going to work for you. Again, I personally don't like the avalanche method because, listen, I need some quick wins very quickly. I need the motivation very quickly. So put in the chat if you use the avalanche method, type in avalanche, or the snowball method when paying off debt. Put that in the chat if you use the avalanche method or the snowball method. Yeah, because I don't know, y'all, like debt is so heavy and it's stressful, and it's just like I just can't. I want to say this Bible verse, Philippians 4:19. It says, and my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches and glory in Jesus Christ. So listen, I want us to say this affirmation: I am not my debt. I am disciplined. I am focused, and I am covered by God's grace. I think we have to give ourselves grace in reference to debt, in reference to just your budget, period. It is hard. It is not easy. Keeping up the momentum, just trying to stay motivated. It is not easy. So that's why, again, I like the snowball method, because it gives me those quick wins. Okay. So also, so put in the chat one of like what's action step can you take today to pay off some debt? Like, what action step can you take today to pay off some debt? Can you pay $20 to the credit card? Can you pay $20 to the student loans? What action step can you take today? Also, I would recommend, and I would say to people that like using like visual. I don't know if people are visual, but I'm like such a visual person that you can, hey, welcome to my live. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, we talking about paying off debt. So I was saying that visual aids like a tracker. Hey, girlfriend. We talking about paying off some debt. People that are just joining the live, I will just repeat what I said. Sorry about the people that are on replay, because you're probably like, oh, she didn't said this already. But I talked about two powerful strategies that paying off debt, and that's the snowball method and also the avalanche method. So I said that I personally paid off like $40,000 in debt already, and I used the snowball method. And again, the snowball method, writing everything out first. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely got to write everything out for sure. Put in the chat if you are paying off some debt with the snowball method or the avalanche method. Yeah. So I also was saying that writing things, yeah, somebody said that writing things out first. Yes, like I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people get overwhelmed with their numbers and they don't even know where to start. So I will say we need to write down what we owe. And that can be a stressful process in itself, because some people don't really even know how much debt they're in. Okay. And yeah, let's say that we're including those little payday loans and those afterpays. Yeah, include all of that, y'all. Okay. And the first thing, yes, is to definitely write everything out. But I also think that, some people are just like me, like, I don't want to look at my debt. I don't want to look at none of that. But once you really know your numbers, then you really could put a plan in place. Like, okay, listen, the first thing I'm going to do is pay off the afterpay. And another tip for everybody, right, that's watching, we can't be trying to pay off debt and creating more debt at the same time. So I want to say that I did this, and I'm going to recommend everybody do this. I cut my credit cards up. Type in the chat if y'all still using your credit cards or them afterpays. There's no judgment over here. It's no shame, but we need to cut these credit cards up because we don't want to keep further being in debt. We trying to get out of it. But it's so easy to keep those credit cards in our wallet when you out and you shopping and you like, oh, I could just swipe this card real quick. Oh, it's just $20. It's just $50. No, we need to cut the credit cards up. So type in the chat if y'all are still type in if you're still using your credit cards. And again, it's no shame or no guilt over here. If you are, it's okay, but we need to stop the bleeding first. You know how you get cut and you like, we need to stop the bleeding first before we can heal the wound. Okay, so using more credit cards, and we're in a very hard season. It's very expensive to live. That's why getting on a budget is very important. Y'all always gonna hear me say that. Even though we're talking about paying off debt, getting on a budget is extremely important. We have to do it. Because if you really get on a budget and you really live below your means, then you are going to be able to pay off the debt faster. You're going to be able to pay off the debt faster. So yeah. So one, make sure that you're writing out all your debts. Make sure that you're calling each and every company, get your interest rates, get your minimum payments, write it all down. If you want a tracker that can help you just organize all your debts, again, I have a link in my bio on YouTube and on TikTok. If you go to my profile, click free resource, the link is there. You can just download my free debt tracker and it will have a space where you can write all your debt down. So you need an organized space to be able to be like, okay, this is my starting point for paying off my debt. So yes, so number one, we got to write all our debt down. Number two, figure out an action plan. What debt method you want to use. We have to be realistic. Living in la la land won't help. I'm just reading a comment. We have to be realistic. Living in la la land won't help. You're absolutely right. But again, some people get a lot of anxiety about even looking at their debt numbers. They like, I just don't want to do it. Like, and let me tell you, sometimes you think in your mind that you're like 50,000 in debt, but you really like 80. Or some people may think that I probably only owe like 20,000 and you really like 40. So sometimes that's hard to do, to be like, oh my God, like I really thought it was this amount and it's much higher. And again, you got to give yourself grace. You got to give yourself time to be like, okay, well, listen, I don't even know the percentage, but I'm pretty sure I can honestly say that over 50% of Americans have over $10,000 worth of debt. So you're not alone. We all are trying to pay this debt off. We are all trying to get better with our debt. But I think what separates people that actually pay off their debt from ones that don't is the ones that actually get on a plan. Ones that actually write their numbers out, ones that actually say, okay, I'm going to pay this debt off and this is a plan I'm going to get. I think that people really think that, oh, it's really about the numbers. Like, oh, you know what? I have to make all this money. I have to do all of these things to pay the debt off. And for real, let me tell you, y'all, the secret sauce is actually just really getting on a plan and sticking to it. That's really what it is, which most people don't do. Most people don't get on the plan. Most people don't stick to it. And then also having somebody that's going to hold you accountable, having somebody that's going to check in with you, having somebody that's not going to judge you, but just really going to hold your hand through the process. So if you need somebody like that, I'm your girl. I'm a budget coach, but I also go through numbers. You can schedule a one-on-one meeting with me. No shame, no guilt over here. If you just like me, I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't even know my debt numbers. I don't even know how to create a budget. I don't even know any of that. Don't worry. I got you. I've been budgeting for almost more than 15 years. Okay. I've paid off already $40,000 in debt. So I feel like I know a thing or two. Okay. So if you need help with that, you can click the link in my bio and we could just schedule a call and listen, we could just talk about it. But again, the secret sauce is to actually get on a plan. So I see a lot of new people in my live. Make sure you heart the live. Make sure you share. Make sure you heart the live. So put in the chat, what methods are y'all using to pay off debt? The snowball method or the avalanche method? And let me know if you want me to explain the methods again, because I did explain it. So make sure you put snowball or avalanche method in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much for welcome. Thank you. Everybody that just came in the live, thank you so much. Make sure you're hearting the live. Make sure you're sharing it. Make sure you're constantly hearting it. Okay. Can we get these hearts up? Can we get these likes up? Hey, there's people that's just coming in. Make sure you're hearting it. Make sure you're sharing it. And we're talking about paying off debt. Make sure that you're paying off debt. So, I mean, we're talking about paying off debt. Look, I'm tripping up on my words, y'all. So, so again, yeah, I said that we can write it down, pick a method, and then also have somebody that's going to hold you accountable, have somebody that's going to walk you through it. And then also creating like visual aids. Like, you see some people that have like jars, like a printout that's jars that every time they pay off some debt, they color it in. This is kind of like a fun way for you to also motivate yourself to pay off some debt. So you can always download free trackers, and every time you pay off $100 towards your credit cards, then you could just color it in a different way. So that's another way to kind of keep you motivated to pay off some debt. But listen, debt is hard. Debt is, paying it off is not easy. And that's why I personally like the snowball method. So you can definitely stay motivated. So let me see. So I also wanted to say, so what small wins can you guys do today to pay off some debt? Like, put in the chat, y'all in here, but I need y'all to be engaging. Like, what small things can y'all do to pay off some debt? How y'all paying off the debt? Did y'all cut y'all credit cards up? What y'all doing? Right? Can we pay $20? And I said this for people that just came in. Student loans. Type in the chat if you got student loans. Okay. We just want to start there. Type in the chat student loans. If you got student loans, I'll wait. Because I know everybody should be typing in student loans. Because I feel like majority of Americans have student loans. So type in the chat if you got student loans. Because if you do, again, which most people, I don't know if you know, but the student loan interest just started again August 1st. So make sure that you are calling your student loan provider and making sure that you're seeing how much interest is accruing on your loans. And you know what, also too, y'all, I would say when you're looking for a job, this is kind of like a side note, look for like companies that are going to help you pay off student loans. So I just started a new job like 3 months ago, and my company gives $3,000 every year to their employees just for student loan repayment. I think that is absolutely amazing. Like, I think that people should be looking out for when you are looking for a job and when you are looking for perks from the job. Student loan repayment should be one of them. And I feel like a lot of jobs have tuition reimbursement, but not a lot of them have student loan repayment. So when you do, make sure that you are asking them for student loan repayment. So type in the chat if you got student loans. None of y'all got student loans? Am I the only one? Am I the only one with student loans? Make sure you hearting it live. Make sure you liking it live, y'all. So we have to celebrate the small wins over here. So another thing I wanted to say to stay motivated, or also just to really encourage somebody that's watching on a replay or watching live, that listen, debt payoff for a lot of people, it could be stressful. It's not easy, and you got to give yourself grace. You have to start somewhere. We could say this scripture verse that is Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Share one small win that you could put in the comments in reference to debt. Did you pay off a credit card recently? Did you pay off a student loans? Type in the chat a small win that you have. I know for me personally, I just paid off 2 credit cards. And I feel like I want to pat myself on the back, y'all, because just like most people, life be lifing, right? And if you do not write it down, if you do not create a plan, then you'll always just be like, yeah, I'm going to tackle the debt. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And then you don't never do it. I know I'm really like talking to myself. Like, there were plenty of times that I could have paid this credit card debt off. There are plenty of things that I could have done. But when I actually wrote a plan, when I actually said, all right, you know what, I'm going to really pay this debt off, that's when I really started to see progress. So again, 3 action steps that we can say for this week is pick a method that you're going to use to pay your debt off, snowball or avalanche. List out every debt. Make sure you list out your debt and commit to one small step. So what small step are you going to take for the week? Are you going to cut the credit cards up? Are you going to cancel those after payments? No shame, no guilt over here, but we need to take one action step that we're going to do this week. Make sure that you're calling your student loan people and seeing how much the minimum payments is. Make sure that you download my free tracker. The link is in my bio. Make sure you do that. But debt is temporary. God's provision is forever. I want to encourage a mom out here that's like, you know what, this debt is heavy and I feel like I'm never going to pay it off. Listen, I'm here to encourage you, to let you know that, listen, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Debt is heavy. It is stressful. Make sure that you get on a plan. Make sure that you have somebody that's going to walk you through it, and keep you motivated. But we definitely can do this. If you have any questions for me, put it in the chat. Let's see. Any questions? Make sure you put it in the chat. Make sure you like the live. Make sure you share. People that are on the replay, make sure you put in the comments any debt methods that you like. They also have like a customized method to pay off debt, which is like the avalanche and the snowball method mixed together. So any other debt methods that you're using, what's one small step that you can use to pay off some debt? Make sure you're sharing the live on the replay. Make sure that you send this to a mom if she needs some type of encouragement. Make sure you like it. Any questions about that? Y'all have any wins? Make sure you liking the live and make sure you're sharing. I just wanted this to be a quick budget with me topic last week. What did we talk about last week? Because every Saturday I'll be on here at 9 a.m. Did we talk about emergency funds? I think we talked about emergency funds. So if you didn't watch if you were not on the live last week, make sure you go check it out on the replay. The replay is on YouTube or my channel. I'm Gracefully Simplified on all platforms. So make sure you go watch the replay of building an emergency fund. We definitely need to build an emergency fund. And we need an emergency fund before we pay off debt. And yes, I'm saying it. You need an emergency fund before you pay off debt. Because if you do not have an emergency fund before you pay off debt, then you're going to constantly be going into debt. Because any emergency that you have, you're not going to be able to cover it, and you're going to constantly swipe your credit cards and you'll never get out of the ending cycle. So I had some good tips about emergency funds. You can watch it on a replay on my YouTube channel again, but we need an emergency fund to pay off debt, and we also need a plan. We also need a plan. So any questions in the chat? I wanted to make this quick, short, and simple on a Saturday morning. Any questions? Any comments? Let's see. So I will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. People that are watching through the replay and live, I'll be live tomorrow, 6 p.m. And we're going to be praying over our finances, praying over our families, praying over our children. So make sure you join my live tomorrow at 6 p.m. I go live every Saturday at 9 a.m. talking about a different budget topic. So today we were talking about paying off debt. Last week was emergency funds. I don't know what next week will be. And every Sunday we talk about different prayers, covering your family, covering some financial issues that you may have, covering your kids. So all of the things, make sure that you are joining my live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sam. Oh, Sam went out. Thank you, Sam went out. Oh, this mic. The Sam went out, y'all. Hold on. Let's see. The Sam went out. Sorry, y'all. I'm streaming on 2 platforms. Hopefully you can hear it. My girlfriend just texted me and said the sound went out. So hopefully TikTok, you can hear me now. Sorry about the sound went out. But hopefully you can hear me now. I just switched mics, but I was about to end anyway. Hopefully you can hear me now. But I was talking about how I'm going to be on live tomorrow at 6 p.m. praying over our finances, praying over our week. So make sure you join your girl at 6 p.m. praying over our kids, praying over their finances. And if you have any questions for me, again, make sure you message me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on all of the things, all of the platforms. Make sure that you're following your girl. So before, let me see. So before I end, remember, budget with faith and prosper with grace. I hope that this live was informative to some people on the replay, people on live. I hope you learned something. I hope that you pay off your debt. I hope that all of us become debt free and we don't use our credit cards. We don't go into any more debt. And I hope that we reach a level of financial freedom. And financial freedom looks different for everybody. So I hope that you guys were inspired. I will catch you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. praying over our finances. Peace.